Hi everyone and welcome back to Jo's Healthy Cupboard. This morning I thought I would talk a bit more about plastic-free July because I have shared my first shop. I haven't really talked about why I'm doing it or why I believe it's really important to reduce plastic consumption. And I know it's not exactly directly in relation to what I have blogged and vlogged about before, but in my opinion it's all connected. Food and the environment and your health. You know, we're not separate entities living on this planet that are not affecting the rest of the planet by being here. And also, for me, it's very linked to food because the key kind of single-use plastic items are usually around food packaging and takeaways, food in shops, fruit, veg, all that stuff. So it is really connected to food. And I hope it's of interest because it's something that I've grown to kind of open my eyes to, and I don't want this to sound like scary or like too serious, but I was definitely sleepwalking my way through the world of use of plastic because I didn't really want to think about it. You know, it's a big thing and it feels like a huge thing that you can't really impact as an individual, but you absolutely can, because the more individuals that are aware of it and the more people that stop buying plastic, single-use plastic, it will force the supermarkets and the government and other entities that use large amounts of plastic to change. Already one of my fellow food bloggers, Foodie Quine, just sent me a link to Morrisons, who are going to start using paper bags, which is amazing. So I'm going to definitely be doing my next shop in Morrisons. I've also heard that you can take your own Tupperware into Asda and Morrisons to get meat, so you don't need to get it all in that plastic. And yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do that for other things as well, like cheese or fish or what have you. I don't know if you can, but I have heard that Morrisons and Asda allow you to do that with meat. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about plastic and kind of where my awareness came from, and it really was seeing recurrent videos on Facebook of like the ocean, and I also follow a really amazing YouTuber, fitness kind of food person called Zana Van, I'm not sure how you pronounce her surname, she's been posting quite a lot about plastic and she has her own water bottle. But I just want to talk a little bit about plastic and also the ways in which I am planning to reduce that and ways that you could possibly do that too if you want to. So the key thing about plastic is that I just assumed, okay, I'm putting it in my recycling box, I'm doing my bit, that's fine. You know, it's going to be recycled, but you can't actually get rid of plastic. It doesn't disappear, it doesn't disintegrate, it doesn't like merge into the earth, it's not going to end up being fertilizer, it just goes elsewhere on the planet, whether that is in a landfill site or whether that is in the ocean, which is the kind of saddest part of it because it is really affecting the sea wildlife and our environment overall, because the sea is so important. The ocean generates every second breath we take, it absorbs CO2 and it produces oxygen. So essentially if we destroy the oceans, then we are destroying life. We are not going to be able to live on this planet anymore, and that is the harsh reality of the damage that plastic is causing, because it is ending up in our oceans. And by the year 2050 there's going to be more plastic in the ocean based on weight than there is fish, and that is a frightening statistic that I read, and something that really hit home to me. And all the images of the sea life birds that are getting full of plastic, they're eating it and then they're dying basically because they have eaten plastic and it just destroys their insides. I'm sure most people have seen pretty horrific images floating around on YouTube or Facebook of sea wildlife. There's a particular one with the turtle and the straw up his nose, and that is what kind of final straw for me was, excuse the pun, to actually go ahead with this plastic-free July, because I could not cope with the thought that I was contributing to that. There's 1 million seabirds that die every year because of plastic, and there's 300,000 dolphins and porpoises that die each year as well. And I just find that so sad. So basically, some of the key things that I have already changed are things like plastic bottles. There is absolutely no need in this country to be buying plastic bottles of water, and just some statistics around that as well. is that for each one plastic bottle of water, it takes 6 times the volume of water than is in the actual bottle to make it. And it takes 2,000 times more energy to produce that water than it would to get it out of the tap. And in my opinion, I have always drunk tap water. I do not have a problem with it. We don't live in like a third world country. Awful conditions in countries where the water is contaminated, it's dirty, it causes diseases and illnesses. In this country, we are so lucky. All we have to do is walk to our tap, turn it on, and pour ourselves a glass of water. And if you are worried about, any added chemicals to the water or anything like that, you can buy a water filter, which I've just ordered. I'll share that when it comes. So I've ordered a water jug filter for my fridge, which I'm going to keep in there, so we can have nice cold water and then just pour it into our bottles. And I've also ordered, I always carry a water bottle everywhere I go and I fill it up. I don't buy plastic water wherever I can avoid it, unless I'm obviously dying of thirst and there was no other option. I definitely won't be doing that this month. And I've ordered a water bottle. You can get water bottles with filters on them. So I've ordered, I think they're called bubble bottles, so they're slightly cheaper. And they are made of plastic, but they're obviously not single-use plastic. They're designed to prevent you from buying that. And they have a filter in the neck, so you are actually filtering the water as you drink it. You don't even have to leave it. So that's another thing. There's so many great water bottles out there. You can buy them on Amazon for a really reasonable price. You can buy glass ones as well. Obviously, if you're concerned about safety, then you can buy a plastic one. The statistics about water bottles, which is the main thing, because it's something we can all avoid doing. And the other things, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard, this challenge, because if you go to the supermarket or watch my last video, which I'll link in here, of going to Asda, you cannot believe how much plastic is on fruit, vegetables. I couldn't even get things like spinach or broccoli because in Asda they were completely covered in plastic. Salads, milk cartons. There's fortunately, I drink plant-based milk, but there is a farm in Aberdeenshire where you can go and get milk, organic milk from grass-fed cows that roam around in glass bottles, and you can refill them. So I'm going to be getting that for my husband and my son. I found like yogurt in glass jars. Any juice I've been buying, we don't really drink much juice, but I have bought juice in glass bottles. Again, that is so hard. Even in Asda, they didn't have ketchup in a glass bottle, which they used to have everywhere. So just some other statistics as well about the impact on the ocean. There is 8 million to 14 million tons of plastic dumped into the ocean every year, and I just find that frightening. Our ocean is our lifeline, and it's damaging the environment as well as the animals within the ocean. And the plastic, as I mentioned, plastic doesn't disintegrate. As I thought when I put it in my recycling bin, it's going to end up being, some of it is. There are companies springing up which are creating, like I've seen Adidas have now got a brand of trainers that is from recycled plastic. There is clothing that is starting to be made from it, and that is amazing. Like, that is the changes that are going to happen in the future. But if we don't start to do that, stop using so much plastic now, it's going to be too late for our oceans. I just feel really passionately about sharing my journey in this challenge because I know how hard it's going to be, and I'm not going to be like so hard on myself like by getting rid of like all my cosmetics and things that I already have. There is stuff in my house that I already have. Obviously my cosmetics and makeup is all in plastic packaging, but I'm not going to throw that out. I'm not going to throw out things that are in my house that I have black bags or washing stuff that is in plastic packaging. I'm going to use it, and then when it runs out I'll replace it with something that is not plastic. And I'll do my best and share my journey with you all, because I think change has to happen incrementally. We can't just assume that we can suddenly switch and 100% be perfect. So this is going to be my journey that I'm going to document about stopping using single-use plastic items, and the main things will be around food, and I'm going to try with trying to find replacements for like household washing and cleaning when I need them. So I really hope that others will be interested in my journey and potentially want to join in too. There's a website, plasticfreejuly.com, I think. I'll link below. And that gives you more information about what it entails. And if you are enjoying following my videos and vlogs on Plastic Free July, then please subscribe to my channel and you will get updates of those whenever I put up a new video, and I'll keep you updated. So have a lovely day, everyone.